Blessings, family. I like to turn your Bibles to St. Matthew 24, chapter 24, verse 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning come out of the east, and shine even on the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Okay, family. Another passages, please turn to St. Luke chapter 6, verse 20. Actually, verse 27, we're going to go. St. Luke chapter 6, verse 27. But I say unto you, which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. Down to 35. But love ye your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again, and your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest. For he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, and shaken together, and running over, shall men give you into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye meet withal, it shall be measured to you again. Amen. Okay, Ecclesiastics chapter 3. Ecclesiastics chapter 3. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to run, and a time to sow. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time of war, a time of peace. What profit have ye that worked in that wherein he labored? I have seen the travel which God had given the sons of men be exercised in it. He had made everything beautiful in his time. Also he has set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God made from the beginning to the end. I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and do good in his life, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor, is the gift of God. I know that whatsoever God do, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And God do it, that men should fear before him. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and God requireth that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. I said in my heart, God should judge the righteous and the wicked. For there is time there for every purpose and every work. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. For that which befall the sons of men befall beasts, even one thing befall them. As the one die, so die the other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that man has no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. All go unto one place, all are dust, and all turn to dust again. Who know the spirit of the man that go upward, and the spirit of the beast that go downward to the earth? Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him? Okay, family, I'm going to read some timeline in history. Okay. August 20th, 1889. Adolf Hitler is born in Braunau am Inn, Austria, to Alois and Carla Hitler. August 1914. Hitler volunteers for the German army. By 1918, he is promoted to Lance Corporal. He also is awarded the Iron Cross and several citations for bravery. June 28, 1919. The Treaty of Versailles is signed, negotiated between Austria, Hungary, and the Allies of the First World War. The treaty largely dismantles Weimar Germany and redraws the European map. Germany is not allowed to participate in these negotiations, thus fostering grievance and weakness that would later form causes of World War II. September 12, 1919. Hitler is ordered to investigate the small right-wing German Workers' Party, DAP. After participating in several discussions and some reflection, Hitler joins the party as its 55th member and is appointed its chief recruiter. July 1921. Hitler becomes the leader of DAP and changes the name of the party to the National Socialist German Workers' Party, NSDAP. The anti-communist message of the party and its opposition to the Treaty of Versailles is designed to have a wide appeal to the average German. July 18, 1925. The first volume of Mein Kampf is published by Ehar Press, followed by the second volume on December 11, 1926. Written during his imprisonment after the failed Bir Har Push coup on November 9, 1923. The book is intended by Hitler to clarify the goals of our movement and lay groundwork for further development of the cause. Mein Kampf is later published as one volume. December 1926. Hitler Youth, Hitlerjugend or HJ, is first constituted as such. HJ is based on the Jungsturm, which Hitler founded in Munich as an organization to recruit future members of the Sturmbataillon SA, a parliamentary wing of the party. After 1933, the HJ program encompasses Jungvolk, boys ages 10 to 14, Jungmandel, girls ages 10 to 14, the League of German Girls, BDM, and the original HJ, boys ages 15 to 18. January through March 1933. In the early 1930s, the Nazi Party became the second largest political party in Germany. And at this time, Hitler becomes Chancellor of Germany. When elections are held in March, the Nazi Party wins the majority. With the majority and the support of the Catholic Center Party, a special constitutional law signed on March 23, 1933, the Enabling Act, allows Hitler to be independent of the presidential power. March 1933. Dachau is established in Munich, the first of the concentration camps for political prisoners. March 13, 1933. The Reich Ministry for Public Enlightenment and Propaganda is established. April 1st, 1933. A boycott directed solely as Jewish businesses, department stores, lawyers, and doctors begin at 10 a.m. This is the first directed action taken against the Jews after the National Socialists seized power. May 10th, 1933. On this evening, in the university cities across Germany, degenerate. Jewish books are set on fire. The most notable book burning takes place in Berlin, where more than 40,000 people attend to hear Joseph Goebbels speak. After the seizure of the power, measures to censor and ban politically opposing books are taken. Political police confiscate 500 tens of Marxist literature by May 30th, 1933. In late 1933, by the end of 1933, Germany is transformed to a totalitarian state. There is a single political party, the NSDAP, under which labor unions, professional organizations, education, agriculture, religion, and military service are all organized. For example, any German citizen who wishes to professionally write, play music, paint, or act has to apply for membership in the Reich Culture Chamber by September 22, 1933. September 22nd, 1933. Conditions of acceptance in the newly formed regulatory organization are outlined in the Aryan paragraph, a series of laws that forbids Jews from participating in the certain aspects of public life in Germany. June 30th, 1934, known as the Night of Long Knives, Rampeper. On this day, hundreds of Hitler's political enemies are executed. Most are the leaders within the SA, notably former Chancellor Kurt von Schilk, Gregor Strasser, and Ernest Röhm, who Hitler felt that had gained too much power. August 2nd, 1934, President Paul von Hindenburg dies. Hitler proclaims himself Führer and Chancellor. The armed forces swear personal allegiance to the new head of state. March 1935, Hitler mandates compulsory military service. May 26, 1935, air defense laws enacted. Germans now have a service requirement including blackout, firefighting, first aid, clearing of debris, and securing air raid shelters. September 15, 1935, Nuremberg laws are passed at the NSDAP Reich Party Congress. Reich citizen law creates a new German citizen that applies to Aryans only and defines who is considered a Jew. The blood protection law prohibits marriage and sexual intercourse between a Jew and a German-blooded citizen. September 15, 1935, the Nazi Party flag, which according to Mein Kampf, Hitler had designed in the mid-1920s, becomes the national flag of Germany. The colors used in the design are the same of the Imperial Germany, and the swastika symbolizes the Aryan victory over Jews. Summer 1936. Through concessions of the Nuremberg Law, such as postponing anti-Jewish campaigns and permitting a few Jewish athletes to compete, a boycott of the Berlin Olympic Games is averted. German reportage of African-American Jesse Owens' world record-setting wins is positive, despite contradicting Hitler's views on white Northern Europeans being superior at athletics. December 1936, State Youth Day is instituted, excusing Jungvolk and Jungmundel members from public schools on Saturdays in order to enroll in the HJ organizations. January 15, 1937. The Adolf Hitler schools are established as the first step in creating the NSDAP school system. This elite boarding schools teach and train German youth to be future party leaders. July 6, 1938. The law to change trade regulations is enacted. This effectively excludes Jews from the economy, as they are now prohibited from practicing a number of trades. Eventually, professions such as physicians and lawyers are included, thus forcing the closure of most Jewish businesses. November 9th through 10th, 1938. Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass, is official and intentional retaliation against German Jews for the attack on the Nazi Party. Leader Ernest von Rapp at the German embassy in Paris by a Jew. Nazi political leaders give the sign for members of local office. The Schutzstaffel Luftwaffe SS or Defense and Protection Squads. SA and Hitler used to destroy Jewish homes, businesses, and synagogues. March 25th, 1939. The Youth Service Ordinance is passed, and the HJ becomes mandatory. Starting in 1940, 10-year-olds are obliged to join either the Jungvolk or the Jungmadel. August 27, 1939. The first ration cards are distributed. September 1st, 1939. Germany invades Poland. November 23rd, 1939. The Jewish star is to be worn on the left thigh on the chest by all Jews in German-occupied Poland, and by September 1941 by all the Jews over the age of 6 within the German Reich. Made of yellow fabric with black borders, the patch consists of 2 equilateral triangles placed one on top of the other with the inscription Jude, Jew. February 2nd, 1940. Construction of Auschwitz begins. May 16th through 17th, 1940. British Airways began deployment of bombers over the rural region of Germany. July 21st, 1940. At the Army High Command, Oberkommando des Heeres or OKH conference, Hitler announces that Germany must prepare to invade Russia. November 1940. British bombing now include Essen, Munich, Hamburg, and Cologne. April 13, 1941. USSR and Japan sign a 5-year neutrality agreement. This will allow Stalin to reassign troops from Siberia to meet the German invasion in the east. May 1941. Hamburg and Cologne are attacked by the British Royal Air Force, RAF. 2,690 sorties are flown. 2,840 tons of bombs are dropped. June 2nd, 1941. Operation Barbosa. Barbarossa. The German attack on the Soviet Union begins. October 13th, 1941. The RAF bombs Nuremberg. August 1941. The Butt Report, created to verify the accuracy of RAF bombings, concludes that approximately only 1/3 of the RAF aircraft claiming to reach a target indeed succeed in doing so. January 20th, 1942. The Wannsee Conference is held in Berlin, where the final solution of the Jewish question is established. The SS is tasked with transporting all Jews to extermination camps. February 14th, 1942. An area bombing directive is issued to the RAF Bomber Command. Attacks should now be focused on the morale of the enemy's civil population and in particular of the industrial workers. Targets are shifted from factories themselves to residential areas where the factory workers live. March 8th through 9th, 1942. A G navigational aid for bombing developed by the British and used by the RAF, the Royal Navy, and later the USAAF is first utilized by Allied forces on the city of Essen, and then Cologne soon after. On March 28, it is used on Lübeck, a medieval town with clustered timber-framed homes that burn quickly. This raid is considered unusually successful and causes Hitler to order reprisals. May 30th, 1942. The RAF bombs Cologne using every available plane and train unit. More than 1,046 bombers are part of this enormous effort, and 45,000 people are left homeless in Cologne. September through November 1942. The Soviet perimeter around Stalingrad shrinks to 30 miles on September 12, 1942, and the longest and fiercest fighting in the Stalingrad begins on October 4th. On October 14, Hitler focused all efforts on the Eastern Front and taking Stalingrad. In return, on November 19, Soviet forces began their winter offense, resulting in the overextension of German forces throughout southern USSR. December 1942. The RAF bombs targets in Munich. January 1943. During a luncheon conference referring to German soldiers' duty to sacrifice themselves for the Nazi cause, Hitler remarks, "The duty of the men at Stalingrad is to be dead. U-boat manufacturing sites, including the city of Essen, are targeted by Allied bombers." January 1st, 1943. A decree further mobilizing German civilian men and women is issued by the Director General of Labor Fritz Sackler. February 2nd, 1943. The last German soldier in Stalingrad surrenders. The United States Army Air Force joins with the RAF in bombing Nazi Germany. July 24th to August 2nd, 1943. Hamburg is bombed with the most effective air raid of the European campaign, resulting in 50,000 civilian deaths. The July 27 attack uses incendiary weapons for the first time. October 1943. Allied Bomber Command drops 13,000 tons of bombs on Munich, Kassel, and Frankfurt, utilizing window strategy, which confuses air raid detection devices. September 25th, 1944. All remaining males ages 16 through 60 are called to join the Nazi army. April 29th, 1945. Dachau is liberated. April 30th, 1945. Hitler commits suicide. July through August 1945. Leaders from the United Kingdom, France, Soviet Union, and the United States come together in Potsdam, Germany, for talks regarding the occupation and reconstruction of Germany. With the Potsdam Agreement, the pre-war 1937 borders are restored, and a course for demilitarizations, reparations, and prosecution of war criminals is determined. Casualties and social upheaval during the 6-year course of World War II were staggering. It is estimated that about 20 million soldiers died, along with 30 to 40 million civilians. Overall, 50 to 60 million perished and millions more were displaced. The sources I got from this is the Encyclopedia of the Third Reich, the World Almanac of World War II, the complete and comprehensive document of World War II, WorldBook Encyclopedia, Australia, Department of Immigration and Multicultural Affairs, Holocaust Encyclopedia. Oh, okay, family. Let's go to St. Matthew, chapter 22. Okay, St. Matthew, chapter 22. And we're going to go to verse 34 through 46. St. Matthew 22, 34 through 46. But when the Pharisees heard that he had put the Sadducees silence they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And his second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. While the Pharisees gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, What think ye of Christ? Whose son is he? They say unto him, the son of David. He saith unto them, How then do David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand, till I make thy enemies thy footstool. If David then call him Lord, how is he his son? And no man was able to answer him a word, neither durst any man from that day forth ask him any more questions. Amen.